Hey guys, it's Targan coming at you with another episode of Elspeth. We've already got the short victory, and we just picked up the Nemesis crown. We're kind of broke, but now we're about to be like a super powerhouse, so what we want to do is just move up and start messing with Throt. I think our Garden's cooldown is for a couple of turns still. That is okay. If we go up to Griffin Wood, and then we'll just telly up and then start moving there. We don't need any... Like, we don't need to have the recruitment here, I don't think. But... But, you know, it does get the global down. I think we'll just... Yeah, I think we'll just teleport up and start clearing the land up there, and then we'll try to take all of this Beckafin block if we can. Franz might, you know, take it first. Our friendliness with our friends is about to start tanking. Our friendliness with our friends. Because of the Nemesis crown. The Empire's going to be fine with us for a bit. I think they'll like us better, but all the other factions won't. The Dwarves and us are like very, very broed out. You know, we're good friends on account of all the things we've done. But, you know, we also have to fight before too many turns are over. You get a lot at the beginning. We have 6 turns before we have to fight right now. And the Richter Bruckert gets the Blessing of the Lady ability, man. So now this army's actually doing work. Alright, so this guy, we could try to send a Witch Hunter at him. You know, a Witch Hunter for the battlefield map wouldn't be bad. None of these are good for what we would need it to be. So we'll take Tough. You don't want a Witch Hunter in an army. They don't do the work. Oh, this guy just won't get hit anyway. Well, you know, you can't have everything. It was a good idea. It wasn't. So, at least we know that Elspeth's going to be able to teleport up, and that everything's going to be fine very soon. We've got a good army, full of our cool little ability things. You know, this dude's probably not as good as Gotrek and Felix for army, but he's on a demigryph, and that is very awesome. Now, does it make sense with our army specifically? No. Do I care? Not particularly. Alright, so we'll be able to go to Griffin Wood in 1 turn. And the camera has default back down, even though we've been playing on this campaign for several days. Great. It's fine. We still have a few turns for the Nemesis crown, and that's all that really matters, because we're about to go to the north and smash. And if we get the money better, we'll make a small, slightly cheaper army with the Engineer Lord, and send them out with Godric and Felix and Ulrike and try to do something right. But, you know, Clan Ungrund has confederated Zufbar. Good deal. You know, now we're definitely not going to be taken away with this, but, you know, now our best pal, our best dwarf pal in all the land is doing really good, you know. Doing really well. The map's not big enough to list all of our all the ways they feel about us, but they're at 246, so even if we get a huge hit, we'll still be fine. Alright. Now, of course, Iket's at war with us, but he's got a lot of enemies to get through before he gets to us, so we're, you know, here at our little insulated place. We are insulated indeed. What we want to do is just keep on going up to find the foe. Face to the enemy. Alright, here the Gardens of Moor ended up not really working, because if we teleport in, then yeah, we'll, it'll be fine. We'll take Wolfenburg. And that'll be nice too. Because again, like, we want to take a couple of places. We'll be able to defend them if we stick Elspeth up here for a while. And then we can move that secondary army. Because we don't need them at home. Although it would make it cheaper for them to sit there. Any place with the Gardens of Morn makes things cheaper to sit there. Ernest wants a peace treaty. As if, girl. Never gonna happen. We're gonna have to be fighting Scarbrand before too long. He's very far away from us. He's probably gonna be a big old menace on the campaign map to some people. I don't think he would be too bad in combat, because we could probably line him up and shoot him. We would just have to make sure that we, you know, didn't... And Reichland confederates Middenland. And, of course, it is now the Empire and us. I'm not worried about it. Carl and I get along very well. Boris Todbringer, you know, he wouldn't be really happy with that banner, but it's the one he's wearing. And we're gonna sack it, then occupy it. Now this makes it worse in the short term for making money, but, you know... Yeah, like right now, it's damaged, so it should be doing 600, and we'll repair it. Yeah, you know, we raid the whole thing. We're just gonna repair the gold mine and let the rest of it fix itself automatically. You know, that's what's hot on the streets. We needed the money, right? We needed it. Had to have it. Champion and all, and there we go. And now that gives him, you know, unbreakable and executioner if an enemy lord or hero is around. Very good. We'll take a hold the line. Decent. And Elspeth is closer and closer to... Like, all of these aren't so good. We'll take leader over now, I guess, because we are one away from lightning strike. And then that'll be very good indeed. And of course, we've got our fight taken care of, so the Nemesis crown will be pleased with our efforts. Because, like, this secondary army here in this place doesn't really do much. But if we move it out of our lands, because they can't... It's just Elspeth that can go there, you know. She, I guess we could... You know, we probably could... give her army to somebody else, travel there, and ferry an army up, because she's... Oh my goodness. Because she has the defeat trade for Vlad von Karstein, so I think we can actually do that. Now, that might make the Nemesis crown go away, though, so... But yeah, because for the next time, we're going to be pumping everybody else up. And it will make our army more expensive to use... But, you know, it'll be fine. It'll probably be fine. France hit up Zavastra, but if we can get Castle von Rauken here, you know, we'll just keep on moving up into it, and Ehrengrad has a port, and that'll get us some money, because we just need to get some sort of income rolling in here on turn 90. You know, it's time to start thinking about that. Savage Blow activated. That's pretty bad for us, but we will deal with it. We're going to take Campaign Movement. Should have got that a long time ago. In here, we'll just occupy it for the schematics. It didn't look like we'd make that much money, you know. 3 grand is something, but it's not a ton. And there we're already... Yeah, so if you repair this, it takes 2 grand, and then it'll be like 175 more per turn. I think it'll automatically repair itself in 10 turns, so we can just leave it alone. We're just going to send the Witch Hunter that way. I guess I didn't remember that it was so easy. Oh, because Dirthu's got Fort Sol. And I don't think we have freedom of motion with them. But, you know. We could get Felix for the thing. No, we're not going to tiptoe around some elves. We're going to smash through their objections. So he's on a Demi, but he doesn't have a shield. He has a big... a two-handed sword. Okay, I'm like, he doesn't have anti-large, but he's on a shield. On a Demi, not on a shield. Anyway. We should be fine here. We are just a couple turns out from Sigmar Suns being available again. Yeah, because we can... It could be pretty pleased with how just like this is going on a macro level on the map. Scarberin demands money. I'm going to give it to him because otherwise... Look, this isn't just about me, right? If I do this, then this Gorbad fight, which is probably going to go rough for our friends, is going to be bad. And we don't want, you know, the Clan Angren's already got enough problems on its spec. If we give him a Scarberin fight too, that whole lower thing is going to be a mess. So we'll just give him some money, loath though I am to pay off a demon. But really, if you think about it, paying a demon, it might be the least bad result. I mean, what are they going to spend the money on? Bribing someone? Perhaps. Clan Engrand and Coron are now regional powers. And we get a cool location here. It is Dwarf Ranger Outpost. That's actually kind of awesome. Hidden armies will be visible, which could be very, very handy. Like, this is a big region, right? Like, that's... it's in a really nice spot. You'd be able to see your foe from far around. And now... So, Throt there will be too far away for us to hit. This guy, yeah, so Azazel, due to being, like, chaos and stuff, he doesn't even have that many. He's just got, you know, one place to hang his hat, so we're just going to knock him out of there. We're going to auto through this. And we already have our level 3 there, and then we're just going to that, and then we'll take public order. And we're probably just going to march him up. I don't think there's going to be any armies in here. We would have seen them. Yeah, we would have seen them. Never mind that they're Skaven armies and have stock. We would have seen them. It'll probably be fine. It'll be fine, probably. We only need to win one more battle to level up the Nemesis crown. And we're probably going to take it against Azazel here. He might come in here and fight us, which, you know, we're a little beat up from that... earlier engagement, but it'll be fine. If he doesn't, we will be pressing the fight to him before too long. Now, Azazel is like a flying, really fast character. He doesn't have a lot of armor, so rather than our normal charge him with Elspeth thing, you know, we'll have to do it a little differently. Of course, they are also Slanesh, so very, very fast and scary stuff, but if we just hit, you know, a nice cannon shot into him, I'm sure we'll be fine. We can level up our trade here. I'm like, now here at the end of the game, we'll level up how much money we're getting. You know, we don't make a lot of money in trade. I don't know if that one's going to help much at all. Yeah, we need to, yeah. This one here, this line, the one for the buildings. Imperial Authority is at 70. Things are about to start thriving. And Nuln we can level up to level 5 now since it's in good shape, and we will spend the money on the walls just to make the garrison that much better. No, we'll wait on that. And Doddernbach is busted up, but we will go ahead and start making money there. Toxer and Throt are going south towards our stuff there, but we can now... Well, we could hit both of them. I think what we'll do... Is that? I mean, it seems good, right? I mean, what better place than here, or what better time than now? Throt will be a reinforcing army to him. He's level 36, so he'll be very punchy. This army could have any amount of crazy stuff. But we have 528 range and with this Hellstorms, so... Alright, what do we got to deal with? Alright, so his army's got a bunch of Plague Monks, which are going to be awful if they get in on us. They're just going to mess us up bad. Couple Rattling Guns. Alright, so it's not as bad as it could be. This army has 4 Hell Pits. That is very rough. If we get a good engagement at the beginning, this will be totally fine, because we've got really, really good shooting. If we don't, then it'll get a little hairy. They don't have any charges of Menace below, and we've got a Nemesis Crown. So, you know, it's going to be a lot different than the last time we were fighting some Skaven. And anyway, I just beat Queek with, like, a way bigger army than this, of course. This one might be a better army. Now, we're going to have their reinforcements coming in from the flank over there, so we're probably just going to overload the right side here. And of course, this first army was in March stance. At least I thought they were, but it looks like they're fresh anyway. You know, we could have got Lightning Strike here, but that would have been boring. And what we'll do here is park the tanks on this hill, and that'll be able to provide support fire the whole way through. Fire in there, and then we'll have cannons on the hill here. Now, the Hellblaster doesn't have, like... as good of an arc as some of these other ones do. The Hellblaster very much needs direct line of sight into things, but if they try to move across the field there, I think we'll hit them from right there. We're going to have these guys here. We're going to give them an order to move up onto the land on that side, however. Now, Knights of the Black Rose here in the trees for flank defense. Demi's and Theodore on this side. Demi halberds, right? I didn't get the halberds. Oh my goodness. I got the wrong ones. Oh no. Well, you know, it'll be okay. I mean, it's gonna be okay. And we'll just walk these guys over there, and then we'll have another set of fellows who principally defends in the woods, I guess. Feels rough. We need Lupio out in the front getting skirmishing done, but I don't know. Maybe here in the back buffing up everybody is better too. Because the problem here, right, is that this is the army. This is all there is. So if we can't make it work like basically immediately, it's curtains. But I think we can do so much to them pretty quickly that we'll be able to make it work. Because especially if we can get them to go all the way over to that side, or mostly over to that side, we'll be able to reorient the artillery, hopefully. I don't think they'll move all the way through the trees. And if they do, then their Rattling guns will count for nothing. Of course, the Poison Wind mortars, that's a big issue. Potentially, they can be pretty funny. What we can do now, though, is just drop this right here, and I think it's slaves and the catapults, but you know, it'll at least send a message. And if we collapse the help around the catapults, we'll be able to charge in. Yeah. The Nemesis Crown, that ability comes back all the time, so we're just gonna keep on punching it. Oh yeah. Oh, brutal stuff. Because right now the Hellblaster volley guns are about to be in range, and they're going to open up. But you know, it's good enough here that Lupio is just doing the roasting. Oh, Elspeth. Oh, the humanity. You know, they're trying to open up on us. It's not really working. Those purple suns are having a time. And now at last, the Hawkland Long Rifles are going to be opening up on this hell pit. Oh, it's about to be a bad time for these fellows. Thought's army's coming in, but if they try to go over in that way and reinforce it, well, of course, that'll be just what we want. Oh, the volley guns coming in. Oh, watch them melt, baby. Yeah, that's the good stuff. All right, now where our shield is down, we need to get out of this fight. We need to drop a purple sun on these storm vermin. No, that doesn't seem ideal. We'll drop a single target here on this wizard and just get to booking it. The Karlbergs are getting eaten up by this Warplock Giselle, but it's now finally getting fired on by the Hellblaster volley gun, so it's not going to be long for this world. But, you know, that's it's pretty bad, you know. That wouldn't be happening. No, it would happen to a guy with a shield. It would happen to them, too. We got, like, a Demi, but it doesn't do well against... Doesn't do well against large units. I didn't think I'd see the day. But I would see the day. Alright, we're going to juice up the Hellstorm, and we need to get it shooting in this direction now. Yeah, and then, yeah, we're just going to keep on pounding here, because, again, like, all these Rat Ogres, it'll be very nice to get them taken care of. And Throt is going to be trouble, but now we're going to be able to deal with it a little better. The spears eat the charge here on the Hell Pits. The Hell Pits are going to get absolutely roasted here. We need to get our troops on the Doom Flayers and get some shots on this Hell Pit as it comes in. I think these Ironsides are just going to light it up, though. Yep, that's exactly what we get. And then Clan Rat Spears pop out of the Hell Pit, of course, or Skaven Slave Spears. And, yeah, that's pretty good. We're going to charge into these Rat Ogres. That'll be something. And, you know, at least with this Terror route, and now the Eshin Triads, now they're unbreakable? No, it's just the RORs that are unbreakable. What we need to do now is get these guns on Throt. These Demis are getting beat up so bad. And Throt got into the line, you know. He's all the way in. But we dropped a purple sun over there. We're getting these hits on Throt, but he is really, really beating us up here. Not ideal stuff. However, you know, their front line's here in disarray, and now they're charging into tanks. We're going to charge right back. Pop the vents. Alright, Throt's gone. That means what we need to do is hit a purple sun on these Rattling guns. The Hellblasters are off of the guns. We've got to get them back on it. These purple suns are eating us up. Oh my goodness, that is so rough. And my dudes just book it out of there. You know, they know what's coming. Alright, now we'll charge back onto him. Caribou Greatsword's very beat up. We just need to get them, you know, back in the field where they can get here. These Hochland Long Rifles, man, they always pay for themselves, right? They always do. Maybe a bigger halberd line with just a couple Hochland long rifles would be the play. We need to get on these Rattling guns. That's the thing. We don't want to let get off of the battlefield because they're about to get army lost here, right? Right. We dealt with all the big creatures. But they have, like, you know, a bunch of scary stuff in general, and we're going to be able to do a lot of work right here in dealing with it. Because we're in a good position to deal with these Rattling guns. This one only has 3 models left, so it won't be able to recover. Because Throt's army will be able to flee from this battle, so we just want to make sure that it's so beat up that it's not trying to get any more damage than it's already dealing with. Caribou Greatswords do so well. Just so well. And the Poison Mortar's down to 1 model. That'll probably get him out of there. And then the Rattling gun's getting beat up, you know. The mop-up phase is so very important to a happy future. You know, I don't know how this one went without Elspeth having the Nemesis crown, but it certainly does work with it. And that's what matters. That is what matters. You never have to be good at the game if you get strong. You may call it a victory, I call it fortunate. Ah, get out of here, game. Come on, guy. The Caribou Greatswords prove that we probably want a front line with shields. But hey, they don't break. We just let them get shot up, you know, and charged by Throt and hit by Giselles. But they don't break. I think we take the replenishment just so we can keep on going through these fights. Alright, and now it'll cost more for my army, but I'll get even stronger again. And we get 10% more hit points, so pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. Of course, 10% more hit points means, you know, 5% more that you can heal. It's a lot of effective power. And here, like, do we take the upkeep things? Do we take... It's like... So we could get more replenishment. I mean, upkeep is bad, I think. We can just get alert and then get this one, and that's fine. Theodoro Bruckner here, keeping on, doing well. You know, I don't know that we need a guy like this in the army. We should send him home to get him the blessing of the lady, and then he would have 30% ward save for a while. You know, that kind of thing. Alright, we can upgrade the Hellblaster. This will actually be good, yeah. So now they'll be able to run fast and have better speed, suppressive fire, and more piercing projectiles. So that'll be real good. We'll take the grape shot for the cannons. We know how that works from the Malachi campaign. It works very well, but not for me because I'm not very smart. And then we'll take this Iron Resolve for the Iron Sides next time, and then that'll give them that great ability where they can't die unless they lose half of their HP, and that'll you know, keep their power up through the charges and such. The AI with the Changeling may be the most bizarre thing in all of the game. It may be. But when we go up here and punch Throt in the face, I mean, we'll be pretty close to, oh no, not our garrison. Could we win this? I bet we could hurt something of theirs. Like, normally I would just auto-resolve a loss like that, but, like, you know, with a Skaven army that's beat up like that, like, I bet we could, like, you know, kill a Rattling Gun. I mean, we've got 4 ranged units and 6 for a front line. They don't have any, like, real monsters to break through. I don't think we're gonna win, but I bet we can... I bet we can do a little punch-up. Of course, Rangers have stalks, so we can have them, like, on the wings. No, we don't want our forces to get cut on the side of that rock there. Man, these guys are way off. Of course, these are Storm Vermin. They're going to win that fight very handily, but, you know, that doesn't mean that we can't forget to shoot into these Rat Ogres. These Storm Vermin, if we can intercept them here, which I don't know if we can, and we're shooting at their skirmishers, which aren't even their value units that we should be trying to eliminate here. Why am I playing this like I can win it? Alright, Rattling Guns broke, shattered. Storm Vermin here on us. If we can get these guys engaged with the Storm Vermin, we might be able to flee here. Alright, that is okay. We're going to get on these Rat Ogres. Get on these Rat Ogres. Please just shoot the Rat Ogres. Alright, and then these Rat Ogres will break too. These Storm Vermin, their HP will break before their leadership does. But our front line is getting all crumble pants. I'm like, just hit the rat ogre. Come on, crossbowman. You know how. Instead, we're shooting here at these fleeing ones, which is fine, like I told him to, but... Because really, if we eliminate just a few of these units, like, this will be 1,000,000% worth it. Because, I mean, it doesn't cost you much to defend. And this is, you know, this is how I should play the game. You know, you just get so bored with it if you do it all the time. But it is important to chip away at your foes. And here, you know, we chipped away pretty nicely. Of course, they had a bigger army than we did. What are you gonna do? I mean, theirs was very beat up. If we had beat that army at full power to that degree, then I would have been just very thrilled. But hey, you know, we knocked some out. Hopefully, we'll eliminate the rat ogre units and the rattling gun. Well, we eliminate the rattling gun and a unit of plague monks. So I mean, that's totally good. And they take the castle. They don't. They leave it there. That's all right then. Yeah, because it's not like that far of a walk here, but they do have to go through Clan Angren lands and past the elves, who they're also at war with. No, who they're not at war with. Strange. At least Clan Angren is a staunch barrier there. But then he marches right here. He leaves that fight. No, this is a different one. Okay. Alright, so this is like a bunch of chariots and then like a whole bunch of flyers and then like skirmish stuff. You know, that actually, our army's not good against that. Our army's not good against that at all. But... But if we can get this ambush, and I don't think there's any scavenging around to hit us for it. So we could actually get, like, some really big ogre things here. I don't know if they make sense for this army, but which, I mean, I don't think they make sense for this army. But, man, to beat dwarves and get the Mournfang cavalry, that would be awesome. Alright, can we get anything right now that'll make us better against their army? Do we even want halberds over normal demis here? They are cooler looking. Alright, well, we've got enough for one more upgrade somewhere, right? We've already got all the stuff that we use in our army upgraded there in the school, so we can just get here, so... I'm like, that's not true. We still have to upgrade the Helmstorms here, because this just does normal ones, and this is for the souped up guys, and this one for double damage of rockets. So yeah, we definitely need to get that going. Hey Danny, how are you? This is a Total War game, so it's like a turn-based strategy map. This is set in Warhammer Fantasy, so, you know, we're playing the Empire, Faith, Steel, and Gunpowder. We're a bad old lady who's like 300 years old, maybe older. She's a wizard. She rides a dragon. She's very cool. She's a good guy. But so you have like this campaign map where you you build things, you see other armies and such, and then it goes into a real-time strategy whenever you do the fights. We're going to pay this guy the bribe, even though he's a big jerk, just to clean things up. And then, yeah, so, yeah, you do this turn-based, and then eventually you have a real fight. And then it goes into like a real-time strategy type of game. Alright, so our enemies there just totally backed up. Here, we'll just go to the central area, I guess. I have no idea where their armies went, unless Franz went and popped them, which he might have done. Say it must be fun. Notice we've been playing a lot lately. Yeah, this is one of my favorite games. I just didn't play it on stream ever, because I'm not very good, and I felt like sensitive about that abstractly. And then I was like, you know what, why don't I just play it anyway? But I've played 1, 2, and 3 combined probably like 1,100 hours or so. Maybe like 1,200 now. But I would play it like, you know, whenever I wasn't in the mood to stream, or just like, you know, whenever I would be watching some video essay, and then I would have this as what I would be, you know, doing in my time or whatnot. Oh yeah, look at that. The forces of Bretonnia are just rolling over Ikit Claw. They've already got Skaven Blight. Dude, nice. Is Ikit even in the game anymore? No, Ikit got taken out. Ikit Claw is the name of a rat. They have Skaven rat people. They're like furry little Americans. They're like World War I era tech. Like, I'm riding horses. We've got gunpowder and stuff and some sweet tanks, but the Skaven shoot like literal nukes on the battlefield. That's a bad example because my character does now too, but you know. Alright, how can we take a good fight here? We can just keep on getting all of these, yeah. We need an area to recruit swordsmen. Or spears with shields, really. Alright, yeah, so we can just leave Zoishink there, because if that guy moves down, then we'll deal with him. So we will just move right here. Do we want the money? Yes, we definitely want the money. And now we're not actually able to take the fight. So now we leave ourselves open to maybe being ambushed. It won't be the worst thing to happen. If it does, it'll just be, you know, a little hairy. But we might just go up and, like, raise Hell Pit. Clan Angren gets attacked. Yeah, no, I think it's super fun. It's like, basically the only real-time strategy I play at this point. But I watch, like, competitive play online, and Wolfenburg is plagued. We just need to stay away from there, and then we'll be okay. Alright, so right here, if Blight goes to Zoishink, we'll just bushwhack him on the way back up. I think we just try to take Hellpit after taking this fort. Because if we can raise their capital, then it won't matter what they've got going on. We'll just pop them. The Skaven, the rat people, they're very, like, cartoon evil. And they're also just, like, really, really problematic to deal with, so this is sort of late in the game. This is, like, the third time in a row I tried these things. Sort of like Heroes of Might and Magic. Yeah, well, on the battlefield, it's all real-time strategy-based, and your units, so the earliest Total Wars were, like, Total War Rome, you know, so shields and spears and arrows and artillery and whatever. But this one's got magic and heroes and all that sort of stuff. Dirth has ended his non-aggression pact with me. He's probably gonna go across the thing and sack all of my lands. You know, if he does, we'll teleport home with Elspeth, I hope. And then burn all of the elves to a crisp, I hope. We'll probably lose. Yeah, the rat people, they're very strong. They're very strong. Their whole thing is that they're cartoon evil. So they get in each other's way so much because they're so dang evil that, like, they almost are always undone by their own schemings and machinations rather than by other people attacking them or damaging them in any way. Alright, Nemesis Crown, leveled up again. Everyone's gonna hate us so much, but we'll get even stronger. And now our Mortis is 30 to 60 damage per second. Oh yeah. I don't care if everybody in this whole world declares war on me. We'll win. We'll win. Like, does that look like the face of a lady who cares if everyone in the world declares war on her? It doesn't. It doesn't look like that because it isn't like that. But this army, so I've got like my dragon up in the sky, and then we've got a couple of tanks, and then like a bunch of like sort of magical artillery and stuff, because her faction buffs the artillery a lot. There's like 25 factions in the game, and like something like 100 legendary lords to lead them, and so, you know, there's dwarves and elves, but then within the elves, there's 5 different elf factions for the high elves that all, you know, make it a little different. And then there's 5 different dark elf factions that make it a little different, and so on. And I just love this game so much. And Throt is coming in over the mountainside. He was all the way up there. Can we get to Hell Pit in time? No. Well, they don't know we're here, probably. We will ambush right here, and then get to Hell Pit in time. But the real reason everybody hates the rats is that they play like a human faction would. They're very... You can't do what you would normally do against them. And here, we could actually... It's like... It says we'll win this battle if we do it, and we might. So we'll have our army corps, and then we'll have our artillery. Yeah, it's a great dragon. So we'll do a battle against the rat people here. Now we would win if we didn't play it. We could just auto resolve it, and we might not win if we do play it, but it'll be glorious. Yeah, her dragon is like, oh no, we've got a siege defense to do. Now this is either the best or the worst thing that can happen. Alright, so we have to figure out where we're going to defend from. So, in a siege, you've got the walls, but you can't really hold the walls. Not really, not most of the time. But you've got towers. If you have people on the towers, then the tower will shoot at them for a little while, and then you can, like, run away when they get to it. And then we need to move everybody back to, like, defensible positions within, because, like, so there's points here and here, and if they don't take them, then they can't win. So we just need to figure out how to take advantage of that fact. But we've got, like, some good old dwarves from our allies to hang out here, so that should help. You know, you get your crossbows on the wall like so if they come up that way. So they have to either go this way or this way, and we'll just try to defend this area too in much the same way. Because unlike a lot of times where we don't have punch, we have the ability in these two. These are a couple guys called Gotrek and Felix. And Gotrek and Felix are notable for having, like, actually 15 books written about them. One of them is a poet who drunkenly swore an oath to protect and write about the story of this guy called a Slayer, you know, to the end of his days. He didn't realize this Slayer was a big damn hero and unlikely to ever die in a fair fight or an unfair fight. And so now he's had to follow him around for ages, not wanting him to die because they're quite good friends, but always being like, man, just getting into the crazy situations. Because a Slayer is a dwarf who, like, takes an oath due to their, you know, extreme shame, where they have to seek, you know, glorious death in battle, and that's the only thing that can wipe it away, you know, that kind of thing. Very, very good stuff. Now, the problem with my artillery is a lot of artillery is super hard to use in a battle like this. We do have some mortars that can't hit our own troops, and that'll be good. Yeah, so this will be like a sacrificial miner wall, I guess. Gotrek and Felix, like, basically don't die. They're real tough guys. Alright, so I'm not good at defending sieges, but we'll see how it goes. We start the battle, that'll fall immediately. They'll try to come up this way or this way, and then we'll try to adapt. Because we'll lose some central stuff, but you can build towers as you go. And you can build these barricades to slow up their progression on the inside. Our towers are going to shoot a little bit. It won't do a ton. But it'll soften them up some. And then Gotrek and Felix will probably, like, walk out and start fighting these guys at the gate. Rattling guns, we should shoot them. Rattling guns are pretty strong. They're one of the reasons why people pretend they can't play this game against them. Plague Claw catapults are really good. We need to get the fight in there. And these miners have explosive charges, so they're just going to stand up here. And, oh yeah, that's a lot of damage. Feels good. They're going to rain down on the dwarves. Or rain down on the Skaven here. Our dwarf allies showing up well for the fight. And the rattling guns are parked underneath the towers, so we're actually able to get something good in there. Oh no, run away, run away! Nope, not able to run away. So that's a thing called Warp Lightning. That's another reason why people hate Skaven, because it works real well. But the more platforms you have, the better. The AI is not very good at dealing with the platforms. By which I mean they'll fight on them and let you, you know, let you feast. Here, this is a summon that came into our lines. Of course, they charged this one, and now our tank is accidentally shooting into them, and that's okay. The mortars at least weren't. Oh, so the other reason people hate the rats, I forgot to defend them. So the other reason people hate the rats is that they do summons onto your battlefield and hit your artillery, like what happened right here when I didn't notice. So, you know, you're paying attention to one thing, and they'll just summon all the way on the other side something that makes you miserable. And these guys are breaching the wall, so we're about to run. These catapults are shooting at the wall. They're going to breach there. These guys are breaching the gate. we're gonna run down and fight them in the front of the gate. So the thing about Gotrek and Felix is they heal pretty well when they're fighting. There's a lot of cool stuff they can do. And the Sunmaker now is going to actually be shelling them as they get on the wall, which is awesome. You almost never get a Hellstorm that can do anything. But they're going to try to get over the wall here. And we're just going to walk out of the front of the gate. This guy is knocking on the door. And Gotrek will answer. Runex to Gotrek popped. Karagul popped. Now, we don't have them. They can become, like, total raid bosses. They can get, like, all the abilities you could ever dream of. But right now, they're, like, sort of low level. There's campaigns you can build entirely around them. But Gotrek will, like... He will swing his axe and just, like, his foes will fall. Oh, no, they ran me over. But, yeah, so these are Rat Ogres, and we're in bad shape. We're crumbling. Oh, man. Oh, that's another summon. That's another summon on the artillery. We didn't get there in time. So, anyway, that's why people hate fighting rats. Because you try to look at something and be like, oh, I'm playing the game, and it's cool. And then they're like, oh, you're dumb and bad. We'll build a big tower there. It looks like our tower knocked all of the catapults off of their thing, which is great. We're gonna... This one dwarf unit has really, really done the work here on the wall. And the Hellstorm is opening up there. Hey, we're getting some shots. Dude, anytime you get... any value at all. Oh no, Gotrek and Felix, I forgot about them. Manlane! That's what Gotrek always calls Felix. Anyway, we sacrificed them with no support. This is a terrible, terrible mistake, and it probably is going to lose me the match. Like, this is really, really very bad. So if Gotrek and Felix are fighting together, they, like, regenerate and stuff. But, oh, like, we should have had them up here with infantry support. But I'm too bad. We're going to pop this potion of healing, and that'll give Gotrek a little bit of juice left in it. Because we've got a good killing field here. Yeah, I really... Sometimes you redo a battle. Now, Slayers don't run, but Gotrek needs to run so he can save the man lane. Deathglow Bombardiers. So this unit is going to destroy everything I have in my whole army. And I don't know if we're going to be able to deal with them. We might be able to deal with them. Felix got away! Ish. But now that Grey Seer of Ruin is within range of the handguns, and if you can get your gunners to shoot for a little bit of time, you will see why the Empire is built on Faith Steel and gunpowder. Man, that bell does the work! Ah, the Chariot of the Gods is truly punishing. That's Gorich. We don't want to mess with him. Gorich will need to be shot, you know, gradually by our guys. Yeah, Felix breaks again. Of course he does, because he's surrounded and has no support. And now we take missile fire there. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Inconceivable. I don't think that word means what he thinks it means. Oh, they're gonna run right around the back. That's what they're gonna do. Alright, so at least we've got halberds plus Gotrek on Gorge. Of course, Gorge is probably just gonna beat Gotrek's brakes off in this fight. We need the tank over here. Oh yeah, we're just gonna lose. But this is, you know. But yeah, no, we have handgunners, we have mortars, we have tanks. We have lost the game. The manling has fallen. Anyway, I'm bad at sieges. I don't do them very often. You do like 100 times more offensive ones than defensive ones typically, because you only do defensive ones if you make bad choices. Most of the time you would just... So like this one, I'm honestly probably going to turn around and reload the save and auto-resolve it, because it would have just let me win. You see how that's not accurate because I'm bad. I actually don't know how to win this because I'm so bad. It doesn't hurt to try. It also doesn't hurt to reload your saves. It's not like you're playing in public and people will make fun of you. Yeah, so what happens now is my gunners are charged, my crossbowmen are charged, and our whole army is en route. And we'll just lose, you know, gradually and then suddenly. So a whole lot of our power is tied up in this artillery, and you can never, ever get artillery to do anything smart in a siege battle. Not the kind we have here. You can only get, like, mortars to do it, because everything else needs line of sight, and the siege maps have all this trash in the middle that keeps you from shooting. It keeps them from shooting you, too, but, you know... Basically, you just do this until you accidentally get friendly fired. And, yeah. But anyway, this is what it looks like when you lose a city to the rats. I've seen this happen many a time. So they surround you from so many sides that you can't, like, try to just defend one point and clog them up there. And then, because you're bad at the game, they get around you, and there's nothing you can do but wait to perish. But again, most people would just auto-resolve this when they saw how hard it looked. I only really did it to demonstrate what a fight looks like. Now, could I have done this fight better? Probably. If I had had, like, some troops with Gotrek and Felix in front of the wall, then we probably could have crumbled that whole side. Probably. Blundering Gotrek and Felix early is, like, really bad. They're not, like, amazing powerhouses like they can become right now. I don't have, like, any of their abilities, really. But, yeah. So, that's, you know, that's that. But, yeah, that's how to lose to Skaven. Yeah, because, you know, that's the thing in the game, too, is you could fight one army, but if you're paying attention to one, and this is very much in the Skaven thing, so Skaven has absolute trash, and then they have really, really, really great stuff, but you'll get distracted by the trash, and, you know, be unable to... be unable to do anything about it. Because, like, I keep, like, tunnel vision. I'm like, oh, there's 10 troops, but maybe none of them are dangerous at all, right? Like, we might have been able to just put, like, a swordsman in a walkway there and hold them for, like, a year. And maybe we should have went the whole way on the other side with all of our guys to defend it. I don't know. I'm bad. But, yeah, so here, we can just hit that button. Some of the settlement dies. And instead of losing our whole army because we're bad, it's fine. And that is how the game rewards you for not playing it. But This would be a fun one-on-one battle where we vastly overpower the enemy. But unfortunately, I have to get on with my day. It's the weekend for some, but not for me. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, Danny. So good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Always nice to talk. Yeah, I will perhaps see you later. To anyone watching in the future, I hope the weather is nice. Perhaps I'll see you in another stream or video. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Farewell. Goodbye.